something like that. This meeting is being live streamed. Yes, it is.
Got it on YouTube. Nice.
Oh, what does it say up there? Oh, it does say on YouTube. Are we though? I don't know. It's not showing me on here that we're live. Oh shit. Oh, dude, what's up, T-Gens? We are live. Welcome, welcome. I am the Brofect one, AJ, and with me is, of course, the sportsbook whisperer, Mr. Noah Engelbrechtson. Noah, how the hell are you doing today, bud?
I'm great. I'm always great, man.
Dude, I know you're great. I'm doing great. I'm doing great, especially because Monday we dropped our big announcement that we will be moving over to Decentraland in a live studio format, and I'm really excited about it. How are you feeling about it, Noah, with 24 hours out from the big announcement?
Dude, I'm pumped. I can't wait to hit the ground running and get this thing going.
Neither can I. There will be more news this week, and I'm talking news that, as I was telling Noah before the stream, just big things for us and big things for the D-Gens. So follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at DGenTakes, at DGenTakes69, and be the first one to know about what and when is going on. But Noah, enough about that, because well, actually a little bit more about that, because that's going to start, March 17th, the first round of March Madness. And these are two teams that we're covering tonight that we will very well, I believe, see in the tournament. Of course, we are talking about Kentucky going to Tennessee. Big ranked matchup. Tennessee will be at home after they got absolutely mollywopped by Kentucky, their last outing at Kentucky. It wasn't the best defensive game for a team that is known for their defense in Tennessee, but however, Kentucky's offense has not been shutting everyone down and lighting everyone up as of late. I know they're on a little bit of a winning streak, but they are not as what we saw earlier, in my opinion. Noah, what are your early reactions on these two teams that we're talking about? And what are you kind of looking for from them before we get into the numbers and everything?
Yeah, I think this game's going to be a lot closer and more competitive than the first time around. Obviously, difficult to beat a team multiple times in the same season.
Yes.
Both of these teams these are good teams. These are good teams. However, one of the big differences that jumps out to me, Kentucky, they play really well at home and on the road. Tennessee is one of those teams that's it's a different story depending on whether they're on their home court or away. They are about 7 points better at home.
Yes.
Hence why they are, I believe, a 1.5, 2.5 point favorite in this one.
That's a great point. It's really depending on the book you're at right now. The book I'm using, I have Tennessee as a 2-point home favorite to Kentucky plus 110 on the money line. Total being at 140 right now, Noah. I've looked at this line all day. I have tried to study this line, figure out an angle, and I think this line is too close. And if you didn't text me yesterday saying, hey, let's live stream this game, I think I would have stayed away from this game. I don't think I would have touched it with a 10-foot pull because I hate where the line's at. But now you're making me...
Yeah. It's a tricky one. I mean, both the spread and the over-under on this one feel like they're about right where they should be, give or take a couple points. But that's not uncommon though with like a big ranked matchup like this. Vegas tends to have those a lot more dialed in than a lot of these mid-major games that not a lot of people are caring about. That's where you get these lines that are just like super off.
No, 100% Noah. And I think one thing we do need to keep in mind is football season's over now. All right. All the bookies have to focus on now is NBA, hockey, college basketball. And so the lines, I think, we are not going to be as spoiled as we have been with these lines. And I think this game is something that proves it right out the back. Now, you've been teasing me all day, Noah, and you've been teasing me. I'm not going to tell you until we get on the live stream. I'm not going to tell you until we get on the live stream. Fine, no, I'm going to do you one better. I'm going to save all my stats and everything until you tell me. So you tell me first, Noah, which way are you leaning on this game and why are you losing everything tonight?
Well, this is a really tough. The toughest part of this is the over-under at 140.
Yes.
Because I feel like that is spot on. Obviously, I have my system that I use. And basically whatever my system says, I take action on anything that is, 5.5 points or more off from what the actual spread is. This did not fall into that. However, rather than Tennessee as a 2-point favorite, I have Kentucky by 2. So I will be on the Kentucky money line, not super confidently. But I have the final score of this one at actually 3. I had Kentucky by. It came out to, with rounding, came out to 71-68 Kentucky victory, which is why I said that over under in a terrible place for that, because I am only 1 point off from where the, Vegas has the over under. So I probably won't be making a pick on the over under, but I do like Kentucky at a medium to low confidence level.
I don't blame you. No, that's not the worst pick I've heard today. I mean, I've heard a lot of bad picks today. Wake Forest money line, for example, that was probably the worst pick of the day. But besides me and my bad picks, really diving into this game and looking at this game, I really see this as a big upset spot for Kentucky. I don't think they are. I for some reason, watching them the last couple of weeks, I haven't seen the same Kentucky that I saw earlier in the season. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't think Tennessee is a great team. I'm not saying they are going to make a deep run or anything like that. But as you and I have talked about, home court advantage is such a game changer in college ball, more than any other sport, I would argue. And so with that being said, I will definitely be taking Tennessee minus the 2, and I will be on the under 140 because I think Tennessee's defense is really going to come out here, lock them down. Second time playing them. It's really hard to beat a team twice. Go ahead, give me Tennessee minus the 2.
And, that's something you definitely got to pay attention to. Tennessee does have a top 10 defense in college basketball. I think they're at number 8 defensively on KenPom. Offensively is where they have had struggles. They've gotten a little bit better as the season has gone on, but they still rank outside of the top 25 offensively, coming in at 30 in offensive efficiency. Kentucky obviously very strong on both the offensive and defensive end. So this will be an interesting matchup. I don't think it'll be super low scoring, which is, why over under at 140 is, looking at a game right around that 70-70 mark.
Yeah, and I see it.
This game could easily come down to, the final shot, or come down to, fouls and free throws at the end. One thing that I think will maybe be the difference maker is Oscar Tshiebwe. And Tennessee does lack a little bit of size typically in their rotation down in the post. Tshiebwe is an absolute beast, averaging over 15 rebounds a game this season, which is unheard of. I was telling you off the air before we went live here, he's got season's not even over, and he's got the most 20 rebound games in like 40 something years. So not unheard of to see him put up 20-20 games. I think he might put up another 20-20 game tonight, and that could be the big difference maker.
I could definitely see that being a big difference maker in this game, Noah. As you know, we have seen with the Arizona game that we covered, size is definitely going to be a thing. And if Tennessee, especially being a defensive heavy team, can't figure it out, down under, Kentucky will bully their way to a pretty big blowout. But hey, it looks like we're just waiting for the next 17 and a half seconds to wrap up in this Wake Forest Duke game.
Well, keep in mind it's tied 74-74.
I just looked at the score. My bad. I just looked at the effing score. Oh, we're going to do this bullshit again, Noah.
Well, at this point, I'm just hoping something happens and this doesn't go to overtime.
Oh, please. I don't want to go to the ESPN app, bro, because then we got to do the things that does the thing, and then we're going to lose half of our viewers, and that's not fun. What is going on? Oh, man, but hey, this is college ball for you. This is the exciting stuff that you're looking for. Can't really complain about it, man. This is going to be.
I will say with this game, if Wake Forest pulls out the win here, that might shut the door on Duke's possibility of getting a 1 seed.
It would have to at this point. Not that Wake Forest is a bad team or anything like that.
No, well, they're certainly not.
No.
But yeah, I don't think Duke can, even if they lose this one, even if they win the rest of their games in the ACC tournament, I don't think they can get a 1 seed. I do think if they lose this too, it'll make it difficult for them to get a 2 seed, and they might be kind of staring a 3 seed right in the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Which not that there's a ton wrong with getting a 3 seed. Obviously, that means you had a pretty successful season still.
Yeah.
If you're Duke, that door is still open a crack as of now to, with some help to squeak your way into a 1 seed, but you'll lose another game this season.
Hey, let's talk about this Duke game. 15 seconds left now. Duke dribbling the ball down the court. Calm, cool, collected as 10 seconds, 9. Keeps moving, not even moving the ball. There we go with a little pick and roll. No movement, no action, nothing. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, takes it in. And oh my goodness. Oh, wow. What? Wow.
Yeah, that putback was
a heads up play there. That was beautiful.
Clark Williams with the putback there.
Wow, and they're going.
They're going to make sure
there's no need to go. That's game.
No, this review is all about how many tenths of a second are going to be left on the clock, which is huge because, as we know, you need 0.3 seconds to take a shot. Anything less than 0.3, and it has to be a tip-in, which means Wake Forest would have to Hail Mary quarterback pass it near the rim and have a player tip it in, which is a very difficult feat.
That's a lot to ask. That's a lot to ask even the pros nowadays. Like that's what they're looking for. And it looks like it's going to be about maybe 0.3.
Well, and that's a huge tenth of a second. Cause like I said, if there's 0.3, you have enough time for a catch and shoot. Anything less than 0.3, it has to be a tip.
And with the catch and shoot, it would have to be a 3-point shot. So this is win or done.
That's unfortunate. Looks like the Wake player tipped it perfectly to he almost tipped it directly back to the Duke guy coming in for the flush there on the putback.
That's rough. That's rough.
Yeah,
poor Wake Forest. They almost pulled it out, but hey, they'll cover at least.
That they will.
They will cover. Wake Forest is a good squad, bro. They're going to be definitely a force going into March Madness. I think a little bit more than people expect.
I don't know about a force per se, but I would say they're not a team you can just write off easily.
No, definitely not yet. Definitely not yet.
They'll let's see where Lenardi's got Wake Forest at. Right?
Ooh, where does he have them at?
I am pulling that up. Give me 1 second.
I'm trying to give you a second now.
My guess would be a 6 or 7 seed. Right, where are you? Wake. He's got them at a 10 right now, which is fine.
That's fair. They left the 0.2 up, Noah. It looks like they're not going to be. This is going to have to be a tip, and if they want any shot.
Yeah. The funny thing too with the whole March Madness tournament is I feel like you'd almost rather have a 10 seed than an 8 or a 9.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Just because of the way that the tournament's set up, that 10 or 11 gives you a better chance to make a deeper run than the 8 or the 9 seed does. Because you got a pretty evenly matched game to start. And if you get past that, then you got to play a 1 seed.
No one likes to do that.
Which
What are they bitching about now? What are they doing? 0.4. Looks like they're putting 0.4 seconds left on the clock.
So we could have a catch and shoot heave here. My guess is Wake's probably,
for, bro.
Yeah, my guess is they're probably going to try to get this inbounds pass in around the half court line and then just throw up a half court heave.
Dude, I'd be down for it. I'm all about it, honestly. God, this is what we love to see. This is why we do what we do. No, this is the shit we love.
Looks like we have tip off in the Kentucky-Tennessee game. Kentucky's out to a 6-2 start. Hopefully we will be over there here in a quick minute or two.
Just got to wait for these guys to figure it out. Don't understand what we're waiting so long for, but hey, that's not my problem.
It's a one possession game. They have to make sure they get every little detail correct.
Very true. Hey, also, because we got some time, shout out Ryan Zimmerman. Hell of a career with the Nationals, spent their entire time there. World Series champion, 2009, hell of a player. Good run, pal. Good run. Enjoy retirement. And yeah, way to get out when baseball is literally crumbling as at our fingertips.
Ooh, holy shit, that almost went in.
Nice little in and out. That would have been an electric game winner. If you're Duke, you cannot be feeling good about that game, honestly.
No. And if you're Wake, you can't. I mean, obviously disappointing you lose, but you can't be too down on yourselves.
No,
especially
definitely.
playing at Duke. You're on the road and you almost pulled out a win against the top 10 team.
Which you really can't. I mean, you got to be proud of yourselves in that case scenario. Don't get me wrong; it's still a loss. Take it as a loss, but you almost dethroned number 9. And if there's any chance we see them in the tournament playing each other, it'd be interesting to see if we get a different result.
Yeah, and obviously you never know. That can happen. It all depends on seeding and what quadrant of the bracket each team lands in. But
yeah,
it's like we get a quick post-game interview and then probably a commercial break, and then we'll be over to the Kentucky-Tennessee game.
Oh, finally, dude! I'm actually trying to watch that game.
Which, let's see what's going on with that game currently. It looks like by tip-off, Tennessee closed as only a 1-point favorite.
Yeah. And Kentucky's just wiping the floor with them? I'm trying to pull up the score.
No, not wiping the floor. It's 10-7 right now.
Oh, that's not bad. Got a close game coming.
Well, and it looks like Kentucky just got called for a technical. So Tennessee's going to have an opportunity to make some free throws, get the ball back, and potentially take a lead.
What was the tech? What was the tech?
Looks like it was on Sheboy. Don't know what for. But Sheboy's got 6 points, 2 rebounds to start the game. Shavir Wheeler, he's got 4 points and an assist. Ty's got 2 assists.
Ty's a stud.
Tennessee got 4 points out of Vescovi. Chandler with 3.
Chandler 3, James with 3, James with 2, excuse me. And I mean it's the Tennessee team now 9-10 with the free throws going through. There we go. Finally getting it back.
Yep. So it looks like Tennessee started the game with their big 7-footer Plavsic in there. Over I believe Fulkerson. He's the one who really tore Arizona up when we played Tennessee.
That is, no.
But Fulkerson only 5'9". When you know you got to defend Oscar Tshiebwe, looks like electing for the size there.
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, as I just get oriented with what's going on in this game, because we really got thrown right into it. Here we go, 11-10. Tennessee Volunteers up. Tshiebwe is, as you were saying, someone you got to watch out for. Not one of them 3-point shooters, but he's the guy that gets down in the paint and gets dirty, putting up good points. Great free throw shooter as well. Look for that when we get late into the game and some bonuses flying around as they start fouling the big man.
And the biggest thing is the rebounding. I mean, he's the best rebounder of college basketball, and specifically offensive rebounding. I mean, he easily gets a good 5-6 offensive rebounds a game, which when you got a guy who's so solid at grabbing those boards, you get those extra possessions. It definitely helps. And let's see.
Let me see. Who am I looking at for my boys on Tennessee? I mean, obviously, you got Victor Bailey Jr. He's a pretty solid player, pretty solid he's an average 3-point shooter, average 2-pointer. His free throws averaging about 50% or a little bit higher is really where he stands out. And I'm a fan of that, Noah. Rebounds also on the offensive side, 9 rebounds, averaging 1 per game isn't the best, with only a total of 22 throughout the season. So just hoping that he really starts to kind of find his way and break out there. What else am I looking for, man? I mean, I really think this is going to be a defensive game. As I said, that's why I'm taking the under. That's why I took Tennessee minus the 2, and I just took them again minus the 1 because I love money, Noah, and that's some good shit. So we will see how this game goes. I think it's a trap game, and I said that at the beginning of the stream. I think this game was a trap game the way these two teams have been playing. But hey, it's a trap that we took, and so just depends which side of the trap we're on.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a trap game. I think these are, 2 of the top 3 teams in the SEC. So, I mean, probably second and third. Obviously, you got Auburn, who's just been a powerhouse this year. Still maintaining 4 first-place votes and only dropping to number 2 after a loss to Arkansas, which was...
I couldn't believe that, honestly.
As an Arizona fan, obviously, we're
disgusted about that bullshit.
Not getting the number 2 ourselves. But Auburn has a great resume this season. They do have a tougher strength of schedule than Arizona. So if I'm being completely impartial about it, I don't know. I don't know that I fully agree still, but I'm not like as, abhorred by Auburn staying at number 2. It's not like we are far behind. Now, speaking of Arizona too, it would be nice for us if Tennessee wins this game because makes that loss to Tennessee not quite as bad if they climb higher in the rankings.
No, it actually makes us look a lot better because it was a pretty close game. Yeah, I'm about that. I will say one thing I think you and I are still a little both disgusted with is this Gonzaga still up there at number 1 with such a weak ass schedule. I mean, it's ridiculous, but hey, they'll get shown up in the tournament like they always do, hopefully against a team like Arizona, so that our boys in red and blue can party all night long. That'd be a hell of a party in Tucson if we win the Natty, bro. That would be unreal.
I mean, Gonzaga also only a 2-loss team.
True.
And to be fair, despite the strength of schedule, Gonzaga is still number 1 in, Ken Pom, net, pretty much everything. I think the reason Arizona fans were upset too, though, is because Arizona's number 2 in Ken Pom, net, and all those other, credible like ranking methods, and so
100% is Kentucky with a 3-point shot up, and it's good, taking the lead 13-11. And Tennessee's just pushing it down, and did it just take it? Go ahead and tie it up right back. I mean, that's a little bit faster paced than I'm used to seeing with both of these squads, but I'm all about it. That leads to good basketball. Oh my goodness, I'm all turned around. Breakaway was from my guy Zeeler Zakis on number 5. He is great point guard, and another just a little float away too there. Kentucky, I didn't see who it was. Noah, Kentucky taking the lead 15-13.
That was Jacob Toppin, who, if you remember a couple years ago, Obi Toppin, he was really great. He's in the NBA now, playing for the Knicks. This is his younger brother, Jacob Toppin, on Kentucky.
100% Tennessee taking it to the basket. That was my boy John Fulkerson, big man, and he goes up for a big block, but doesn't get it. Does get the foul for Toppin. He'll go to the line for an extra one. 17-15 Kentucky Wildcats.
So as far as Gonzaga's strength of schedule, AJ, just touching back on that,
yeah.
Because a lot of people, when Arizona fans are like saying, why are we not being ranked higher throughout the season, whatever, and it's like, well, you don't play anybody, Pac-12 strength of schedule. I just want to say Arizona has the 59th ranked strength of schedule. Gonzaga 146. So
as Toppin misses the free throw, and Ziegler with the 3-point shot bricks it. Oh, gets it out on the big man for Kentucky. Tennessee's ball, but he does look like he's a little shaky.
We got a little scuffle going on here.
We got a scruffle in the Kentucky bench. Tennessee players obviously outnumbered. What is going on? I don't even know what even started. It looks I can only assume there's going to be some text flying around for this one.
I don't know about that. Unless they.
What was that about?
There shouldn't be any technical fouls here unless there was something like specific on a certain player that a ref saw directly.
Yeah, ref saw, ref heard, or something like that. I mean, that's one of those sticky situations right there.
It looks like Fulkerson just tripped over somebody's leg on the Kentucky
and the guy's
bench.
Helping him up. Tennessee comes to help him up.
And you get some pushing and shoving, and the whole Kentucky bench jumps in there.
They clear out. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know that there was enough. I don't know that there was enough there for any fouls to be called or anything. Both coaches getting an explanation from the refs.
No, I do want to bring up something that I definitely noticed in the Super Bowl, but looking back even a couple weeks before the Super Bowl into this week when I've been watching sports, I kind of have seen the refs get a little loose. You know what I mean? Kind of let go of the whistle a little bit and put the flag in their pocket, so to say. I mean, obviously with the Super Bowl, that being an extraneous circumstances, but I mean, the topic of conversation lately really hasn't been officiating.
I don't know that that's a trend or anything. It's game by game because every group of referees calls every game differently, especially in college basketball. You get and that's part of the challenge of college basketball too, is you have to see how the refs are officiating the game and change it. You get people complaining about, there's way too many fouls called or not enough fouls in specific games. But the reality of it is you hardly ever see a game called super one-sided.
100%.
It's more so a thing of these players, and that's part of their job as players, is they have to figure out and adapt to how the game's being called. If the refs are calling a bunch of soft fouls, you have to change your game and be a little bit less physical. If they're not calling shit, then start pushing guys around a little bit more because you can get away with it.
And I think honest to God think the best people to ask about how a game was officiated is a sports bettor, because a true sports bettor, you know what I mean? Not one of these degenerates who bets on all the favorites and is a Lakers, Cowboys, and Yankees fan. You know what I mean? I'm talking about guys who really study the numbers and everything, because they can really start to take into account these officiating crews and stuff like that. For example, the Chris Paul, whatever that ref's name was in the finals and in the thing, he's never won a game, or he's won one game with that official. And so, I mean, that stuff does matter at the end of the day. And so you talk to a sports bettor and you can truly get to the bottom of how a game was officiated and everything. But in reality, as you were pointing out, officials to some extent don't matter as much because these younger players especially need to learn you can't get away with this stuff. You can't get away with that. You can't get away with that.
Well, it's I think it's more so like I would say 1 in 100 or less than 1 in 100 games are like, especially in basketball where you have a much higher volume of calls than like football per se, are like called one-sided. They're usually pretty evenly called. It's just sometimes it's, people just see like the discrepancies at fouls. And then they're like, oh, well, these refs were biased, opposed to how I think it really is most of the time, which is just certain refs call more fouls than other ones do. And you have to realize that the game's being called a certain way and you got to adapt to it.
You really do. You really do. I just turned on my volume for a second because I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm really not sure if there's any fouls or anything, or they're just conferencing a lot. Like it seems like there's going to be nope. They're going to do a tech on my boy Ziegler. So he must have said something, done something that got that whole thing started.
And then they called a second technical on the Kentucky bench, not on a specific player, just on the bench.
But just on the bench. Interesting. All right, I'll take that. So Tennessee's ball? Sweet.
Yeah. Like I said, I think there were too many bodies in the way, so they couldn't really pin that on anybody on Kentucky.
Yeah, good call by the officials. Way to get that set up and everything. And finally, we are back underway.
And honestly, if you're Kentucky,
passing it around,
if you're Kentucky, you won that exchange because Tennessee gets a player with another personal foul with the technical. You're Kentucky, it's on your bench, so it doesn't matter. You have no player getting a tech on there. But
no, and Kennedy Chandler right there for Tennessee getting off the last second shot before the clock expired, making it a tied game 17-17. Kentucky moving the ball around, trying to make something happen. There's the big man down under 55. Tries to put it up. Can't get it. Jonas Adu on the rebound. Keep it moving. How we doing? Tennessee getting the ball in there. Chandler Kennedy passes it to the big man. Big man puts it up. Can't get it. John Fulkerson with the brick there. Kentucky keeps moving the ball.
Looks like Sheboy hasn't been out there for a little bit. Kentucky kind of staying right in it. I would watch though for once Sheboy comes back in the game, for him to have a little bit of an impact and Kentucky to go on a bit of a run.
100% Noah. I'm trying to get caught up. I had a power situation. You know how that gets. Give me a second. I don't know what's going on. I know. Okay, Tennessee apparently scored. It's 20-17. Kentucky's got the ball with 12 minutes left on the clock.
Oof.
Moving it around, puts it up. Nothing there. Tennessee gets the ball back. Chandler Kennedy taking it up court with the three. It's good. 23-17 Tennessee.
And Chandler's 3 for 3 now from downtown.
Hey, I'll take that right there.
Nice little start.
As Kentucky tries to answer with their own 3-point, but instead they'll get it back behind the board. Tennessee's ball. Hey, by the way, have you had these yet? We're not sponsored or anything, but have you had these? Can you drink them?
That's a great question. Are they seltzer or are they beer? Do we even know?
So they want you to they say super crisp light beer, but if this is beer, then I drink vodka every morning when I have a glass of water. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm in Mother Russia and this is nothing, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. I was kind of not reading, but like I saw a some review on that on TikTok, and they were saying that it basically just tastes like slightly carbonated water.
But like it has a hint of something, and I guess you could call that hint beer if you really stretch for it. But I don't know if I would use the term
it's the
beer. You know what I mean?
It's the two little sprinkles of grain they throw in there.
Dude, honestly, and I mean, it's good for like streams like this because I can, have a drink and everything and still stay cognizant and stuff. But it's like I kind of want a beer now, like a real beer. Even a regular Bud Light. I would take a regular Bud Light now, and I hate regular Bud Light. I'm a Coors Light man myself.
Gotta go for the Bud Heavy.
Bud Heavy, just Budweiser.
Hey, man,
that's aggressive.
I don't see why not. But
dude, this just in breaking news. I'm getting burritos for dinner.
Oh, okay.
I know, something the whole world was wondering and anticipating. But yeah, it's going to be burritos tonight. I'm super stoked on that decision. We almost made the call to go to B-Dubs and everything, but in the end of the day, we just didn't like what B-Dubs had to, offer our team at the time.
Good to know, AJ. I'm glad I know what you're having for dinner.
Hey, I knew you were worried about it.
I was super concerned, actually. But
hey, that's the news. That's the news that we break here on Degenerate Takes. All right. But soon, hopefully, professional athletes will talk to us. That'd be cool. We can break actual news, or however that insider game works. We should probably learn that. No, that might be helpful for our jobs.
Interesting. So, just a quick recap while we're at commercial break about the rest of college basketball. What's going on right now? Minnesota up 25-23 at halftime at Ohio State. That one's that one's a bit of a surprise. We'll see if that holds up. That is a low-scoring game too. 25-23 at halftime.
Jesus.
It looks like Texas is up 79-76 at Oklahoma with 9 seconds left in overtime. Villanova, number 10 Villanova over number 8 Providence by a 6-point margin. That score is 58-52 with 15:50 left in the second half. That one's on pace to be a high-scoring game. And then Wisconsin down 2 points at Indiana. Wisconsin ranked number 15, number 22 ranked Wyoming, tied 19-19 with New Mexico, 7 minutes left in the first half. Arkansas taking it to Missouri up 12 with 7 minutes left in the half. And that is your score update right now. Obviously, we'll keep you updated on other scores in college basketball during the commercial breaks.
And halftime as that approaches, as Tennessee inbounds the ball. My boy Ziegler is getting it started and playing keep away with Chandler Kennedy. Nice to see both of them on the court together. Looks like we're going with the big man, John, down under for right now, as he puts up a beautiful little floater, another 2 for Tennessee.
Yeah, and man, Fulkerson's he's a good player. He's
excellent, dude. His field goal percentage, he's averaging about 50% a game. I mean, free throws are not looking bad either, about 70%. I mean, he's kind of what you want in a big man.
Hasn't been starting as much over the past 3 or 4 weeks. Which is interesting. But obviously coming off the bench in this one, and he's had a pretty big impact since he's been in the game.
Yeah. And obviously, and that's why he's keeping in, he's staying in there. It's beautiful.
Well, and sometimes you need that too. Like if players going through a rough stretch, sometimes, it can help to have them playing off the bench, keep their minutes, about the same, but, a little less pressure if you're not in that starting rotation. It almost seems like sometimes.
As Kentucky makes the one, Tennessee moving the ball down. They're moving at a faster pace than I've seen this offense move in a while. As Kennedy tried to go under, but nothing there. Passes the ball up to Kennedy.
both of these teams, AJ, play a pretty average pace.
Ooh, whips the shot in and out.
Yeah, so both of these teams play a pretty average pace. Neither of them like to play fast or slow. So there's not much to.
Ooh, loose ball. Tennessee gets it, takes it away. Big man with the slam jam at number 30.
The jam.
Number 30, Triple J, Josiah Jordan James. What a play there. Good heads up by Tennessee. And honestly, if sportscasters have not given him the nickname Triple J yet, y'all fucked up, and that's what we're here for. So you're welcome.
Ooh, another bad turnover by Kentucky.
Another really bad turnover by Kentucky with the big man Triple J imposing down under, gets the ball, looks for a three, doesn't take it, loses it for a little bit, kicks it out, looking for something, getting nothing. Triple J with the shot. Oh, and it's good from downtown. Triple J with the triple.
Tennessee is shooting a really
Triple
good
J with the
clip
triple. Wow.
right now from three.
They are.
However, if you're a Kentucky fan, if you took Kentucky in this one, don't get discouraged yet. Tennessee has been known to they're a very streaky offense. They go through hot stretches like this, but they're also usually good for a couple scoring droughts every game. That's the big knock on them. Their defense is fantastic. Defense has really been showing up this game early. Offense has been hot, but watch out because most games they will go through at least a couple minute scoring drought or a couple minute scoring droughts. So Kentucky will have plenty of opportunity to climb back into this one.
Oh, 100%. No, I am not, as a Tennessee bettor, I am not feeling secure in my bet yet whatsoever. That's why
you feel good about a 12-point lead in the first half, but if you watch enough
Tennessee's
college
history, as you've said, I've watched enough college ball to know where this game could very well go very fast.
And, Arizona's been down a couple times to much inferior teams by double digits in the first half and then came back and won the game by 25 or 30. So
as Kentucky inbounds the ball, trying to get something happening, jumper, mid-range, not good. Triple J gets the ball out of the hands, taking it in. Number 1, my boy Kennedy Chandler, just taking it in. Nice shot, 32-18. Tennessee. I was checking something. All right, let's see if Kentucky can do anything here. They really need something because they got nothing right now. Big block. Oh, and they're going to call Triple J for the foul. Can't really blame him there. He was all over the guy. And hey, to the people watching right now, we thank you very much for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. Follow us on Twitter as well, as we will be releasing our first NFT will be when we go live into Decentraland tomorrow on Twitter, Instagram, and the TikTok at DGen Takes. So give us a follow there. We got some. It's pretty cool. It's we're gonna release the done ones, the last ones I sent you. You know what I'm talking about?
Do I know what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, those ones, they look pretty dope.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see what the D-Gens think of it. It's going to be exciting as Kentucky does drain both of the free throws, 20-32, taking the lead back down to 12. Hopefully a nice little momentum change for Kentucky.
Sheboy, he'll be a pretty sought after pick in the NBA draft.
He is a stud.
There's not much he doesn't do well, other than his shooting range isn't the greatest, but that's out of a 6'9" big man who, crazy that he rebounds better than any other player in college basketball at only 6'9", but he's just got the athleticism, the hands, everything.
Definitely. And Tennessee running with a bigger package here. Ball's loose on the ground. We're going to get a jump ball. Looks like it's going to be Kentucky's ball.
Not a jump ball. It looks like they called a shot clock violation.
Oh, shot clock. Fair enough. We can call that too.
Yeah, if it were a jump ball, that would have been Tennessee's. They do have the possession arrow currently.
They do. My bad. No, it took me a second to get oriented. As Kentucky inbounds, the ball takes it down the court. Number 12 looks like he kind of bumbles it a little bit there, but it's all good as they're trying to set something up that this Tennessee defense really put in the mix to them, blocking them down, not really giving them anywhere to move as they try to go inside, and there is nothing there. Tennessee with another defensive rebound. They have been killing it on the boards tonight, Noah.
Yeah, and I mean, Kentucky's got to figure something out here because they've only got 3 points over the last 4, 5, 6 minutes, something like that.
That's not good as Tennessee kicks it out. Yeah, just a brick from Ziegler, not even close, but hey, it happens to the best of us. Kentucky pushing it down, gets the block, but will take the penalty. Getting 2 at the line.
And I believe that's going to send us to another commercial break.
Yes, it will. Looks like, what the hell? Yep, we are in commercial break with Tennessee up still big before the free throws. I mean, not a hot start for Kentucky. This is what I was worried about the Kentucky team. It looked like a let up spot, and it looks like they are letting up a little bit. Number 4, Kentucky against number 16, Tennessee. Tennessee actually looking like they're showing up, showing out for the first time in a long time. I mean, I've been watching them, haven't been watching them close or anything like that, but they have not played like this. As Noah, we can now call a game. Texas does win in overtime, 80-78. I mean, big win for Texas. Any win for anything for Texas is a big win for Texas. Is another step for Texas to be back. Noah, is Texas back?
I mean, they're good. They're not. I mean, but they never really have been like a basketball powerhouse per se, you know.
No, absolutely not. But it doesn't mean they're not back. Like, are they back?
No, I'm just gonna go with no. They're not. They're never back. They're never gonna be back in anything.
So I'll continue to fade them on the spread and everything like that because let me tell you, I hate betting on Texas. I'm over betting on Texas. I thought I learned my lesson in college football, but no, I had to learn my lesson in college basketball as well. But hey, it happens. Anything else going on in the basketball world in our commercial break, Noah?
Got Villanova holding on to a 5-point lead right now with just under 12 minutes left at Providence in that top 10 matchup. Other than that, Wisconsin down 7 at Indiana in the first half. Wyoming up 3 on New Mexico, and Arkansas still taking it to Missouri.
Still taking it to them. Excuse me. I'm dying, I think.
It highly likely.
Honestly, with everything the way everything's going, you know, it's been going too well recently. So maybe I need to get sick again. Who knows? Take me down a peg. But
just humble you.
Humble me a little bit. Everything's going a little too well right now. So take me down a peg. That ain't happening anytime soon. Especially with the big announcement now, Noah. I mean, the conversations I've been having, I told you about some of them. They're looking very exciting. If you don't know already, we will be not moving away from YouTube completely, but for streaming and everything like that, we will be moving to Decentraland coming March Madness. If you're not familiar with Decentraland, it is a version of the metaverse, and it's going to allow us to interact and do essentially the coolest sports show ever that has never been done before. And we're going to do it all 4 days of the first and second round of March Madness with a live stream of almost every game, or at least whichever games we flip to and want to watch, special guests, NFT drops, everything else that you can imagine in a grand opening. It will happen, minus of a celebrity guest. Still working on that part, Noah. Do you know any celebrities by chance? Because I am very skim on them right now.
Maybe like C-list celebrities. I don't know.
What about Tom Chambers? I think I can get Tom Chambers.
Sure. Whatever. Whatever floats your boat.
Dude, we'll work on that. I would love to get us like some type of celebrity. That would mean we're like actually a show. That would be pretty lit. But that's something for a later date as Kentucky makes the first one at the line, 21-32, closing it to 11, hoping to close it to 10 before Tennessee tries to keep it moving. They do close it to 10.
Tennessee, they've been playing really good defense, taking very good care of the ball. Those turnover numbers are great. Shooting pretty well so far. If you're Kentucky, I think you're happy with only being down 10 in this one.
Yes, because it could be a lot worse with how Tennessee's been shooting and playing. The big men for Tennessee, Triple J, and all those guys have really been killing them down under and with their shooting in the paint and everything. As Tennessee inbounds the ball, moves it around, little floater hits the rim, no chance.
And here we got Kentucky starting to make a little bit of a push on Tennessee after a pretty good Tennessee run.
Ooh, but then with a block and a steal, a rebound there as Tennessee keeping the high tempo, trying to move the ball around.
Under.
How
do you miss that?
Can't capitalize.
That was a total
Santiago, the Seficho, not being able to capitalize there. But Tennessee, let's see what he can do here in the open court. And he does finally make that shot there.
Yeah, that was bad. That was a complete defensive breakdown by Kentucky, and Tennessee just unable to capitalize on an open layup. God, you hate to see open layups like that, but Kentucky with another bad turnover, Tennessee continuing to capitalize on those poor turnovers.
Kentucky cannot buy a point right now as number 34 gets the foul, Tennessee's ball. 5:50
yeah, that's gonna be number 2 on Sheboy, which is something to keep an eye on here.
Yeah, we do not. You hate to see a big man get into foul trouble early. That's something that you really want to stay away from as much as possible.
Especially one as talented as Sheboy. My guess is he might be out on the bench for. We'll see what Coach Cal does, but Sheboy could be on the bench the rest of this second half or first half rather here.
And that would be detrimental truly to the Kentucky offense and defense. We'll see what happens here.
And you got Ty. You got Ty on the bench too. Kentucky obviously very deep, but this is an opportunity for Tennessee to extend this to 15 or 20 points and really make this a difficult comeback.
Yeah, if they can do that as a 3-pointer is good. I did not see who made it, but hell of a shot. Santiago Vescovi killing it from behind the 3. He is 4 for 6 for 3-pointers tonight. Way to be, guy. As he is out of bounds. They are calling him out of bounds. Tennessee ball as nothing seems to go Kentucky's way.
Finally make a shot and he stepped out of bounds right before. You hate to see that.
Man, they can really not buy any goodwill right now.
Yeah, like I said, the door is open here for Tennessee. I mean, if you're Tennessee, you want to push this lead to about 20 points given the circumstances by halftime, because they totally can.
Ooh, as you got to, it's Vescovi with the turnover there. Tennessee, though, hustling back on defense, trying to get Kentucky, trying to find something, but Tennessee is all over them.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Another block. Oh, they will get a penalty that
looks
time.
Like we got a foul on the floor there.
That will be John Fulkerson with the foul. Kentucky going to the line.
Yeah, shooting a 1-and-1 here, but man, they're Kentucky. They just put up 0 for their last 8 shooting. Their last 5 points on free throws seems to be the only way they're getting points since like the 11 or 12 minute mark of this half has been free throws.
That's really not what you're looking for in this situation, especially if you're Kentucky. You're trying to maintain some. Oh, and it's in there.
Yeah. At this point for Kentucky, if they can keep this to 10 points or even get this to single digits, that's a win for them.
It really is.
If they can go into halftime with a single digit score, that's big.
That would be huge. But with Tennessee just putting up bricks right now, they very well could easily, as they create a 3-pointer that just won't go in. Tennessee driving the ball back down the court, looking. Looks like we're going to pass the ball around a little bit. Kennedy Chandler with the ball up top. Kicks it up top. Boys are moving it around. Ziegler with the ball makes the drive. Penalty. Looks like he's going to the line.
It's been 10 minutes and 1 second of play clock since Kentucky's made a basket.
That's unbelievable.
Now they have, I believe they're 7 for 7 or 7 for 8 from the free throw line over that stretch, but you can't go 10 minutes without a basket made.
You can't.
We are heading to our final commercial break of the half, probably. AJ, I'm going to, I think, step away and refresh my drink real quick while we have a commercial break here. I will be back in a minute or two.
Sounds good, bud. I will take over for this commercial break. A lot of really good stuff going on. If you're a Tennessee fan, they're up by big, which obviously with the way the line was looking, they're closing at 1 point, not even a half, not even a hook. You're looking at 1 point, looking up now that they're ahead big. I mean, you got to be feeling good. I'm feeling great right now. I know Noah's probably crapping his pants a little bit, and that's why he needed to step away. I understand, Noah. I know you can't hear me right now, but it's one of those things that we will work through together. You will see the side of Tennessee basketball that I've been seeing for the last couple of weeks. Really has been a story of almost, I want to say, just shooting for Tennessee, which is not something I normally would say about them. Obviously, the defense also doing extremely well in this scenario. Couple of plays ago, just being all over Tennessee on a fast breakaway with a turnover and everything, being able to still be on top of them, still putting pressure on them, like Noah alluded to before the break. We are looking at 10 minutes of clock time without a single basket from Kentucky that hasn't been a free throw. A single basket that has not been a free throw has not been made in the last 10 minutes for Kentucky. That's just not a good look. Just not a good look for Kentucky. And this is something you're going to have to remember when you go into tournament season, because this is them playing on the road, which every game is going to be on the road in the tournament. And let's look at the live line right now because we got a minute. We're looking at Tennessee as a 10.5 point favorite now at -125. Look for that line to move to 11 and 11.5 in a couple minutes, probably by halftime if it keeps going the way it's going. If you think Kentucky is going to do it, though, you think they're going to come back and win it, screw the spread. It's at -105 at +10.5. You go with the money line at +525. That's where the value is on this play. Because if Kentucky is going to cover the 10.5, they're going to go on a run. And when Kentucky gets hot and goes on a run, they're going to keep moving. Again, not financial advice. We're just sports bettors who watch a lot of college basketball. We pretend like we know what we're talking about. What do you want me to say? Over under right now at 149.5. That's a tough one because this game could slow down. Tennessee could get cold, and it could just be a very defensive game coming out of this commercial break, coming out of halftime. We really don't know how it's going to end. I do think it's going to be an electrifying ending. If I'm a Tennessee bettor, as I am right now, I'm not really loving the 10.5. 10.5 is a lot of points, and we've seen Tennessee also in the past give up these leads and ultimately the win. And so -800, also a bad bet right now. You're not really getting any value on Tennessee unless they keep going on this run. And, 10.5 is nothing to them at that point. But that's something neither here or there. If you're looking at the first half, you want to make some quick money. 13.5 is the spread at -110 right now. Tennessee obviously favored by 13.5. The score being 37-24. It's a 13-point difference. So they're throwing that hook in there to make it appealing to bet on Kentucky and try to take you away as the lines do go down as we go into play here. No, I was just catching up the D-gens on the lines, live lines and everything. We're looking at 10.5, 149 for the total. The value right now is Kentucky plus 525 on the money line. But again, not financial advice. We're just sports gamblers who pretend to know what we're talking about.
I would, I'd be inclined to take Kentucky at 10.5. I don't see this.
That's what
game.
I was saying.
I
It's
don't
at
see
minus
it maintain-
105 too. It's going to move to 11.5 if Tennessee keeps putting up numbers. I mean, 10.5 is not a bad bet.
I don't see Tennessee maintaining a big double-digit lead throughout the entire game.
No.
We'll see.
Just so you know as well, we talked about the first half spread because that was still available, and you were looking at minus 13.5, which is looking good now, but I didn't like that for the long term. 39-24 is Kentucky's got to try to get something going with the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in this game. I mean, in this half.
Yeah, this last 4 minutes of this half will be pretty crucial for both teams to establish something going into the halftime.
It will be, as Kentucky cannot continue to buy a shot. And there's a call on the court. Did not see a hand signal. I'm not sure what it's for. It looks like it's going to be Tennessee's ball. I mean, yeah, Tennessee's ball, though. Everyone looks confused on the court, which makes me feel better when I'm confused sitting here in my quote-unquote booth, Noah. You know what I mean? It looks like they're going to the replay for some reason.
Yeah, I think they maybe blew it dead because of a shot clock violation, and they're going back to review whether or not the shot clock should have been reset. So they're looking at whether that initial shot hit the rim or not.
Gotcha.
But Tennessee shooting 50% from three so far this game. Shooting a really good clip. Wow. They are killing Kentucky from behind the 3-point line. And obviously, like we said, Kentucky hasn't made a basket since about the 13.5-minute mark of this half, or 14 minutes. They're over 10 minutes without a basket. They do have 7 points over that stretch, all from the free throw line, but they need to start seeing some of these shots fall if they're going to climb back into this one. And I'm sure I'm sure they will figure it out and they will start getting some shots to fall. But you've had, both Ty Washington and Oscar Tshiebwe have been on the bench more than you would like them to be.
But that's going to be because of foul trouble. They're in a lot of foul trouble right now. Not a lot of foul trouble. I don't think 2 fouls apiece, right?
Is Ty in foul trouble? Is that why he's been on the bench?
I know they were showing a replay of when Ty got injured on Saturday, so they could just be injuring that, like nursing that a little bit, reserving his minutes.
Ty does not have
Kentucky cannot drain the three. Tennessee pushing the ball, and it will be out on Tennessee's ball at the baseline.
Like I said in our pregame before the start of the Oscar Tshiebwe was going to be the most crucial part to Kentucky. The fact that he's been in foul trouble this game is part of the reason why they're hurting. Not the entire reason, but he's going to need to wash those fouls because, if he picks up a quick one towards the beginning of the second half, then we're, that's going to make it really tough on Kentucky.
It really will, because if Kentucky can't get help from him, they really won't get help from anyone. As Tennessee puts it up, doesn't get it, gets the rebound, another hook shot, nothing there. Kentucky with the rebound, trying to get something going, 24-39 with 3 minutes left in the first half. Kick it out again behind the three. Finally nail something. Finally, after an 11-minute drought.
Yeah, finally. And seeing one go in might change things for Kentucky here. After missing that many shots in a row, you finally see one go in. They might, hopefully they can build on that and make this a little more interesting here.
100%. Just like in golf, when you've been shanking all of your drives and then you hit that one beautiful down the fairway and you drive up to it, it's a beautiful 300-yard drive, and then you fucking slice it right into the woods and in the water. But that's neither here or there, as Kentucky can't buy a shot still. Tennessee finally slowing down the pace a little bit, trying to set something up, take some time off the clock.
For me, it's usually, a couple good holes in a row, and then I'm like excited, feeling good about my game. I have, a couple more beers in me, and then the next thing you know, by like by like hole 14, I'm, past the sweet spot, and I'm just, throwing away a decent round of golf because I, go like, 20 over on the last 5 holes.
Yeah, see, for me, it's all about getting one good shot and thinking, oh shit, that's pretty good. And then just slicing the next one and then bogeying or triple bogeying on my putts as Kentucky, finally makes a little floater. 29-42 with 1:30 left in the first half. And nice roll in, but it won't go in. Tennessee with the rebound, but he passes it straight to a Kentucky. Kentucky pushing it down the court as we speak. Oh, there's nothing there though, because Tennessee's defense is all over Kentucky. They will not let Kentucky get comfortable. Finally kick it out. 3, not good. Tennessee with the rebound. They're slowing it down again.
Yeah, I will say that this Kentucky team, they run the court really well, or not Kentucky, Tennessee rather. They move up and down the court very well at pretty much all positions. Part of why their defense is so good. Kentucky had a one-man advantage 4-on-3 there, yet with only 3 guys, they were able to take away any easy shots, letting the rest of their defense come down there. Tennessee, very disciplined on defense, very good defensive team.
And it looks like we will get a timeout with 45.5 seconds left on the clock in the first half. Tennessee up 42-29. Noah, we will go into another commercial break here. As looking at the ticker on ESPN, it looks like Wyoming, number 22, 33-30 going into halftime against New Mexico. Closer game than I was hoping for. Arkansas 46-27 up against Missouri at halftime as well. Arkansas really proving to be a pretty solid team late going into when we are preparing to go into March.
Yeah, I mean, obviously jumped back into the rankings after beating Auburn. Arkansas, who was in the rankings earlier in the year, had some struggles throughout the early and mid part of the season that dropped them out of those. They're finally back in there. I'm a big fan of Eric Musselman, the Muss Bus, their coach. He's I love him. He's high energy. He's a fun guy. But Arkansas is not a bad team at all. And
not bad as Tennessee just drains a beautiful mid-range jumper. Love to see it. That was my boy Vescovi nailing that as Kentucky tries to put up another 3 and then drill it with 26 seconds left on the clock. Clock keeps running. Tennessee's going to enjoy it. They're going to take their sweet ass time to get down the court now. They're going to try to run this halftime.
I was going to say, I'm guessing they're going to hold for the last shot here. If you're Kentucky, you just need to stop here.
Yep.
Given where this first half has been at times, I think, if you're Kentucky, you'll take 12 points. 12 points is, surmountable. Like, you can come back from 12 if you're Kentucky.
As it looks like Tennessee is going to the line for 2, Chandler taking the shots.
But tough first half for Kentucky.
Really tough first half for Kentucky. Drill's the first one. Oh, it was a 1-1. Excuse me.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
5.8 left.
It's hard, like when Tennessee's been shooting the lights out like they have been. This is when this Tennessee team is very dangerous. When they're shooting well, they can beat just about anybody.
They really can.
Their problem is they've had too many games this year where they have shot very piss poor percentage. And that's when they get into trouble.
That it is. As we go into halftime, Tennessee 46, Kentucky 32, 14-point difference going into halftime. No, I'm going to take the first minute of halftime and refresh my beverage as well. I'll be right back.
Sounds good, AJ. It looks like for as far as score updates, for anyone who's concerned, Ohio State now up 13 over Minnesota, coming out to a real hot start. in the second half. Villanova, it's like Providence just hit a 3. Villanova up 4 with the ball with under 5 minutes left in that game. Wisconsin was able to pull back from down 6 to go into half up 1 at Indiana. AJ already touched on Wyoming and Arkansas. If you care about the Pac-12 like we do, Colorado up 44-32 on Oregon State. Iowa State down 2 at halftime to TCU, a team that was ranked up in the top 10 earlier this year that I was never sold on. They are last place in the Big 12 after getting out to a 12, 13-0 start this season. And yeah, and that's what we got for score updates right now. We got some, couple games, one about to tip off between Utah State and San Diego State, 2 teams that are probably on the verge of making the tournament. And then a pretty meaningless one between San Jose State and Nevada later on today. But we'll see what happens with those. Also have some Olympic hockey starting here. A little over an hour. Got the United States taking on Slovakia. And then 3 hours from now, we have the Russian Olympic Committee playing Denmark in a rematch that we saw in the very first game to open men's hockey, which was I believe a 1-0 win by the Russian Olympic Committee there. So if you're following Olympic hockey at all, we got some exciting stuff coming up with that. But I think this will be interesting to see what happens in the second half here between these 2 teams. I wouldn't count Kentucky out. However, it is going to be an uphill battle for them with the remainder of this game. As we see a little replay of the Duke Wake Forest game from earlier, the almost buzzer beater that didn't quite go in. Looks like we're cutting over to a little Villanova and Providence coverage right now. That's a big matchup. Providence ranked all the way up to 8, taking a big jump in the poll here. Colin Gillespie, sorry, an absolute stud. Villanova is going to be a team to watch out for. I mean, they do have a lot of losses, but those losses are pretty much all to ranked, really good teams. I wouldn't be too concerned about Villanova. They should wind up as a nice little 3, 4, or 5 seed, I would anticipate. And they could make they're a team that could make some waves from a little bit of a lower seed in the tournament. Definitely a team to watch out for, in my opinion. Now we're seeing highlights from the Texas-Oklahoma overtime game. Texas, a ranked team that I am not too concerned about them making a deep run. Very talented. They have a lot of talent at all positions, but they seem to not have a whole lot of chemistry or identity.
That'd be who?
Texas.
Gotcha.
I was just saying that they're very talented at all positions, yet they just don't seem to have chemistry or identity with each other. It's kind of it's like watching a very talented pickup basketball team, a bunch of guys who just met each other at the rec, and yeah,
it happens, but we'll see. Minnesota now getting their ass beat by Ohio State.
Yeah, Ohio State coming out to a massive start there, AJ. I was also talking about how we have some Olympic hockey coming up here
Oh,
in
do we?
not too long. Yeah, in 1 hour and 1 minute on the
Oh
dot.
shit.
USA is taking on Slovakia, and then
Ooh.
about 3 hours from now, we have the Russian Olympic Committee taking on Denmark in a rematch from the opening game of the men's hockey tournament, where the Russians took that 1-0.
Not bad, not bad. So your future play obviously still in effect, right?
Yes, obviously.
Good. Just making
Yeah.
sure.
Yep. We got the Russians, obviously not as strong as I would have hoped to have seen them. Obviously still in it at this point, but I was expecting them to come out dominant. They lost in overtime to the Czechs, but Czech Republic losing in the qualifying round to Denmark. So, that'll be interesting. I mean, this Denmark team has only lost one game, and that was 1-0 to the Russians. And interesting enough, you don't usually see a ton of Danish players playing professionally, but yeah, this team looks pretty strong.
That they do. I mean, shit, I'm off tomorrow. I might end up staying up and watching that stuff. At least the USA.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, I'm not, so I'll probably be watching the USA game. I don't think I'll be up for that Russia Denmark game.
I don't blame you, bud.
That one.
I do not blame you.
Puck drop at midnight Central Time for me, so that's that one will be a little bit late. Plus, that USA game probably wrapping up around 1 a.m. my time anyways. So
yeah, that is a late night, especially after calling a college basketball game. Whew.
Yeah, so we'll see. Like I said, I will probably watch the USA game because obviously I gotta, right?
Yeah, you gotta.
And great story from from the US team. Obviously got a bunch of college hockey players making up a good 2/3 of the team, and getting the number 1 seed in the bracket.
True, looking damn good doing it too. I mean,
over
the boys.
Yeah, taking that 1 seed over the the Finns, the Russians, the Swedes, the Canadians. Although Canada is dealing with the same type of situation as the US, not really having professional players. Canada did trounce China for the second time in a row.
Yeah.
No surprise there. China obviously only participating because they're the host country and got the opportunity to. If it was anywhere else, I didn't
even know they knew how to play hockey.
Yeah, apparently they have enough people to
that know how to skate.
To field the hockey team.
Well, enough about the Olympics right now. No, we are talking college basketball, so I do want to get into the live lines a little bit. They have not moved much.
All right.
They have not moved much since we talked about them last. Tennessee still a 10.5-point favorite, now at -115. Kentucky 525 on the money line, and the over under at 153 even right now at -115 both ways. No, I don't know about you, but neither of those, as a Tennessee bettor at least, none of those numbers attract me except maybe the under of 153. I do feel like at some point both teams are going to stop scoring points, but I don't know, the way Tennessee's been firing them off, it's been unbelievable. What are you thinking about those lines? And are you jumping on anything? You just kind of leaving it?
I kind of like under 153.
Kind of like that too.
And what was the live spread at?
10.5 still, -115.
Yeah, I'm all on that 10.5 for Kentucky. I wouldn't. I'm not ambitious enough to touch that money line for the full comeback win. However,
We'll come back.
I do think it is in play, but I think Coach Cal's he's gonna have a good message in the locker room. He's gonna get it fired up. If you're Tennessee, there's not really any adjustment you can make. Everything's going right for Tennessee so far. So if you're Rick Barnes at Tennessee, I don't know what you say other than like keep doing what you're doing. However, if those shots stop, especially the 3-pointers, if those stop falling, that's going to give Kentucky a window to climb back into this one.
Now, that it will. As a Tennessee bettor, I did find a bet I really like. Well, 3 bets I really like. I'm kind of sprinkling on all of it because if one of them hit, I am up money regardless. It's one of those situations. Winning margin: Tennessee Volunteers 1 to 3 points at plus 750. Tennessee Volunteers 4 to 6 points plus 625, and Tennessee Volunteers 7 to 9 plus 550. I don't think they're going to keep this far ahead. I do think
those are a little bit too narrow for me personally, but if I were you and had a bet on Tennessee -2, 2.5, I would go ahead and maybe just sprinkle a couple bucks on Kentucky money line just in case,
That point, honestly, just to hedge up a little bit, but
yeah. And then the only problem with that is if it does end up being a 1 or 2 point Tennessee win, but I don't think it will. I don't think we're going to see Tennessee win by 1 or 2. I personally would probably take that risk and just throw a few on Kentucky money line just to hedge if you want to hedge, but also like you're sitting pretty if you got Tennessee. So there's not.
I'm sitting pretty. I'm gonna drop the 1 to 3 and add 10 to 12.
Or the thing you could do if you're on Tennessee, which I love to do, is if you took the live line on Kentucky, then you have this sweet spot of hitting a double win in there. If Tennessee falls between like a 3 and a 10-point win, then you're hitting double on that. So that's always an interesting one.
True. We will see what happens as we always do. We got to be almost done with halftime at this point, right?
No, I mean, it's a 20-minute halftime, so.
Oh, shit. So we got some time.
Yeah. As update on the Villanova-Providence game, Villanova up 78-73, a minute 42 left in that one. That one is coming down to the wire. Not going to lie, I kind of was expecting Villanova to have a double-digit win in this one, despite Providence being ranked number 8, 21-2 record on the season. Providence, a very interesting team because stat-wise, all the stats and analytics say they fall in very similar numbers to a bunch of these teams that are in between like 7 and 10 or like 6 and 11 seeds. Yet Providence projected a 3 seed with the number 8 ranking in the AP poll, only 2 losses. But the stats don't back it up. They've been incredibly lucky, and the only stat that's attractive with this Providence team is 21-2, their win-loss record.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. I was talking to another buddy of mine earlier today about, these last 5 games for Providence. I could see them dropping 3 or 4 of their last 5 games and really sliding into like where the stats say they should be. But, if they keep doing their thing, they might just keep winning. Who knows? But they're a weird outlier case of they don't play that well, yet they win. they just keep winning.
Yeah, no, which is good for them, but obviously that's going to affect them heavily going into tournament season when every game matters and you're playing against teams that are much better than you.
Which, yeah, and if they keep winning into that, they could be a very big victim of an early round exit as a like 3 or a 4 seed. That'll be something to keep an eye on. Mm-hmm. And I trust my stats, my analytics, everything that I have. AJ, if they end up as like a 3 seed, I'm maybe not first round exit, but I can't be super confident putting them into even the Sweet 16, you know?
Yeah, no, you really can't be at that point. You just can't. You just can't, as it looks like we are getting ready to go back to action. Noah, finally, 46-32 Tennessee. I mean,
yes.
And as Arizona fans, like we said, this is our dream right here. With a big win for Tennessee over a team like Kentucky strengthens our argument going into tournament and everything. And in the end of the day, that's what we care about the most, is what U of A is doing coming tournament time.
Yeah, absolutely. And before we get back to the action, I know I just like, because this Villanova Providence game, a top 10 matchup, it's an important game. Wrapping up, Villanova just made a free throw. It's 81-78 right now. Providence calls a timeout. Villanova has another free throw attempt coming up, which they make. They are up 4 with 55 seconds left. Providence is going to have the ball. So I think Villanova will hold on to that. The spread in that game was 4 points even, which we are sitting perfectly at right now. We'll see what happens with that. Shibwe back on the court, obviously, no surprise there.
Has to be.
He just needs to not pick up his 3rd foul here in the also in the first 4 to 6 minutes. You know, he needs to at least get past the 4 to 6 minute mark.
100%.
Take a couple minutes on the bench. You know, if he comes back in at like 12 minutes of clock and he's only got 2 fouls, still we're totally fine. But he picks up a foul in this first 4 to 6 minutes, that's going to be a problem.
As we have Tennessee inbounding the ball, Kentucky defense playing a little bit tighter than they were in the first half, seeing that second half adjustment coming out right away as, we getting anything from Tennessee? No, we're going to let Kentucky rebound it, trying to get the ball into Tennessee's hands. Back on defense, Kentucky moving the ball around. Let's see what happens on offense here. They really need to see something go down early. They need to establish something fast because they didn't do that in the first half, and it made them suffer. As we have a bad turnover, and it's going to be a foul on Kentucky. We are going to get some shots coming from my boy Triple J.
And that was the story of the first half for Kentucky. Other than missed shots, it was bad turnovers that led to Tennessee points.
Yeah, bad turnovers, bad fouls like this.
And so you hate to see that start. It looks like we got a player down.
Oh, and it is the knee area. Oh, is that? Who is that?
That's Ty again.
Oh no!
And he's made an
other leg this time.
He's made an early exit. Oh God, as he punches the chair.
So he's in a lot of pain right now.
Well, he's twice this year already. He's made an early exit. Kentucky, they need him. Their scoring numbers are actually farther lopsided without Ty than they are without Shibwe in there. So,
well, you know,
very
as sports fans and everything, we hate to see anyone get
not a lot of contact there either. And yeah, Ty just been having routine problems with his knees. I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm sure we'll get an update here. I mean,
yeah, we will eventually.
Might have just aggravated, an already existing injury there.
Yeah, and as someone with with a history of knee injuries, let me tell you, it is very easily, very fast to re-aggravate those. As it is 47-32, Tennessee with them, they have the ball right now, making a drive. Triple J with the ball, shot, nothing there. Kentucky with the rebound, moving it down the court pretty fast now. Little floater from just after the arc, little 2-point shot, 34-47, 13-point lead Tennessee. Ooh, pressing the defense now. Kentucky actually getting some pressure. That looks like a good move for them. They should probably consider continuing that. As Tennessee moves the ball around, they gave the big man a shot up top, but they know he's not going to take that. Triple, and it's nothing from Bokic.
Like I said, I mean, Tennessee shooting 50% from three in the first half. I don't think they'll
bad turnover by Kentucky.
I don't think Tennessee is going to continue that 50% shooting into the second half, but it's hard to say.
It really is, and we will obviously see how it plays out here with 17:40 left to play in the second. Tennessee with the ball yet again, trying to make something happen. Drives it down, nothing there. Turn around, nothing. Kentucky with the rebound there.
And Kentucky playing very solid defense to open up this half.
Definitely playing, like something you like to see, getting it down under, and then with the penalty as well. Oh, what was the call?
Looks like
looks like
they called a trap. I think they called a travel before.
Okay. Whew, that's rough. Rough. Tennessee's ball inbound. Ooh, as ESPN shows, we got Oregon U of A on Saturday.
Yeah, college game day is going to be there. It's going to be real funny. ESPN's going to get blasted so hard by the U of A fans in that one.
Oh yeah, they're going to get wrecked to shreds after the shit we've been through with them. As we miss Tennessee making another 2-pointer. And another turnover by Kentucky really has been the story of this game. Just yet another one, please.
Yeah, these turnovers are killer. Already 4 in the second half.
And Tennessee's been taking advantage of those turnovers, and that's been really nice to see with them.
They haven't this half, though. Kentucky's been playing much better defense to start the second half. I say that as Tennessee just makes a shot, but
my boy Fulkerson's still doing work.
That was a difficult contested shot there by Fulkerson. That's just, there's not much more you can do to defend that. But yeah, I mean, the first half it was turnovers, and then Tennessee capitalizing and getting points off of those turnovers. That's what we saw all first half.
It is what we have been seeing all first half, as Kentucky makes another one, 36-50, 115 points separate the two right now. If you took the live line at 10.5 for Tennessee, you're feeling real good right about now. Tennessee passing the ball around, looking to keep the momentum going, looking to keep Kentucky on their heels because they have not been playing well on their heels all game. Shots put up, nothing there. Kentucky with the rebound.
And if you're Kentucky now that you're at the 16-minute mark, you kind of split this game up into 4-minute segments.
With a 3 being made from downtown.
And especially
not looking happy on the bench.
Yeah, especially after that 3, you got a 12-point game, right? You only got to make up in each of these 4-minute segments now. You got to make up 3 points per 4 minutes, which is totally attainable. The biggest thing, you just got to avoid a Tennessee run here if you're Kentucky.
Yep. You cannot go on a 5-minute, 6-minute cold streak again. You just cannot afford to do that. The way Tennessee's been shooting with a 3 from downtown, nothing there. We're going to get a shot clock violation.
All right. And we are going into a TV timeout here, our under 16-minute timeout. Villanova up 87-81 now. And it looks like final score 89-84. Villanova's going to win by 5 at Providence. It's your little update there. Ohio State's banking Minnesota. Wisconsin back down 2 to Indiana. Wyoming up 2 at New Mexico, and Arkansas with a 20-point lead. That game, I don't want to say it's over because I've seen crazier things happen, but it's feels pretty over.
Which game was that again? Sorry, no, I didn't hear you for that last one.
Oh, the Arkansas-Missouri game. 10 minutes left, 20-point deficit. like I said, I don't ever want to say a game's over with that little time left, but it feels pretty over.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. It's college basketball, so it's really hard to say something is over. But one of those scenarios where, yeah, more than likely over.
No, and I know, and I can't definitively say that. You know, when I've watched crazier things happen, like Texas A&M against, I believe it was Northern Iowa that one year in March Madness, overcoming a 14-point deficit with like a minute and a half left. Crazy things can happen, especially at the college level in basketball.
Yeah, and we've seen it, and we're going to see a lot of that coming in March, Noah, when we make our big move finally to Decentraland and the metaverse, where we will have full coverage of first and second round action. Now, I know what you're thinking, D-Gen's listening to this right now. Who gives a shit, AJ? You're just going to be doing the same stuff. No, we're not going to be doing the same stuff. This is going to provide us the opportunity to interact and create a show that has never been done before. And we have been working tirelessly, hours upon hours, in order to get this show ready to go. And shout out to my boys at DCL Connect for creating the incredible software that I'm going to be we'll be using in order to bring that interaction. We are beyond excited. Again, follow us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at DGen Takes in order to get the up-to-date news on that. We will be we will be announcing what our first NFT will be for sale come the first day of March Madness. And Noah, I'm beyond excited.
Yeah, and AJ, throughout the streaming of that and the coverage of March Madness, I believe we will have some giveaways.
Working on that. We are working on the giveaway parts. Yes.
Opportunities for exclusive merch and NFTs.
Exclusive merch, exclusive NFTs, one of a kinds, because it will be our first episode, stuff that will never be released again because it is March Madness, a very special event. So it's definitely something you're not going to want to miss out on.
I was going to say it's something that you're not going to want to miss because there are going to be opportunities to obtain exclusive one-of-a-kind things that you're never going to be able to get again. And
never again.
You don't want to miss that.
And not only that, but Noah, how many times in your lifetime do you get to be a part of something that's once in a lifetime? Not a lot. We're the first to be doing what AJ, we're doing.
I would say once is
once. That's correct.
The answer to that.
It is
hence the
once, Noah.
Name once in a lifetime.
Once in a lifetime, and this is no bullshit here. This is going to be the first of its kind experience, a new way to talk and listen and understand sports gambling, all of that. More information, as I said, will be coming out in the next couple of weeks as we get close to our March Madness launch. Follow us on Twitter, Instagram, all the socials at DGen Takes in order to stay up to date with everything. Like I said, we'll be announcing our first NFT tomorrow. And hey, I think best comment will get a free pair or a free NFT when we launch. Ooh.
That could be, like I said, we will be having some giveaways, some free stuff you can get. You just have to be present. You have to be there and engaged.
You have to be there and engaged in us and the DGen community, because we are all here for one thing, and that's sports, and to take all the sports books money, as Kentucky is moving the ball, some good offense. They're great, better defense by Tennessee, but they are able to get the finish, making the score now 41-51.
And like I said, for Kentucky, like I said, you split the game up in the 4-minute segments, and you just need to make up 3 every 4 minutes. So if they get this down to a 9-point game by the 12-minute mark, they're looking pretty. They're fine.
They are.
That ball gets knocked away. Looks like Kentucky maintaining possession here, and yeah, I mean, if you get it to closer than 9, then you're basically on track to win, right? That's how that works.
Yeah, I believe that is how the math works out. Noah, Kentucky with the ball, trying to make something, continuing the momentum on offense with a nice little under there by number 2. That was pretty.
That was pretty, yeah. Like that. And Kentucky continuing to play a lot more physical and tighter on defense. It's clearly working out for them to start the half.
Clearly is a 9-0 run in the last 3 minutes, as we see, as Kentucky tries to put up, Tennessee tries to put up a 3-pointer, doesn't go.
Sheboy with another rebound. Let's see what he's at this game. I don't think he's at 10 yet, but
trying to draw the foul. Not going to get it for Kentucky.
Yeah, so Sheboy, that was his 10th rebound. And considering he's been on the bench for a good half of the game so far, not half the game because he's been in the entire second half, but Sheboy, he just picked up his third.
Yeah.
That's okay. Like I said, you didn't want to pick it up in the first 4 to 6 minutes, although stretching it to 7, that's not much better.
No.
Sheboy probably going to be on the bench for, my guess would be 3 to 5 minutes of play. He's too important to this team. He's got to be back in around the 8-minute mark would be my guess.
He really does, as Tennessee trying to make something happen on offense. Now reignite that spark, little 2-point floater from my boy number 5, Ziegler, killing the game tonight. He needs to just keep doing what he's doing. 53-43, 12:40 left to play in the second half as Kentucky continues to move the ball around, trying to keep their momentum on offense because that's been a struggle for them. They went on that 9-0 run and everything. We got to see if they're going to be able to, as they seem to pick up a foul on the floor. Looks like it'll be on Triple J.
Which, that's 3 fouls for him. So now we got two players to watch with foul trouble in this game.
Yep, and you hate to see it, especially with the big men. You cannot afford to lose the big men, especially late in a game like this. Kentucky moving the ball around, trying to make something happen, trying to create some space. Tennessee not letting it happen. Wheeler with the shot, no good, air ball, and then rejected by Tennessee.
And then rejected again.
Man, just nothing falling for Kentucky there.
Man, these Kentucky players are ending up on the hardwood too often.
They're ending up down there, and they are just staying down. This is a very physical Tennessee team, very reminiscent of, I'm not going to draw that comparison because that's unfair, but, this physical defensive style is something that is really proven in the NBA and in college basketball to be taking over. Look at U of A right now. As we have a terrible angle from ESPN. Shot, no good. I hate when they do that experimental shit, dude. I don't want to see it. I want to watch the game.
Yeah, and they don't do it.
Game.
They don't do it most of the time, but some of those angles are not great.
No, I remember one time on Sunday Night Football, they tried the Madden quarterback angle. You know what I mean? With the sky cam, and it looked like dog shit as there's a big
nice little putback
by number 55 in Kentucky. But Tennessee ain't worried as they try to make something happen, to kick it out again, 3-pointer. But there's going to be a foul on number 2, Mr. Wheeler.
On the floor. All right. Well, going to timeout here, AJ. I'm going to have to step away real quick, just for a minute. I will be right back. And
all right, I'm trusting you this time. You better come back.
I'm actually not. I'm going to go take a vacation somewhere.
I'm
going for a drive, going to the airport. See.
All right. See you in 8 hours, bud. As Noah takes a break here, and we are in commercial break. Tennessee still has all the answers. They had a big enough lead to where a 9-0 run really didn't matter for 3 minutes. Shout out to them for being able to, come back from that and being able to stay on it. Something I missed in the chat earlier, bacon forever. I agree with you there. Bacon should always be a thing forever. It doesn't matter if Tennessee wins. Arkansas will beat them on Saturday. Woo pig suey. Hey, that Arkansas team ain't looking bad. That Arkansas team ain't looking bad at all. And unless you see a Tennessee team like you're seeing tonight, that's a rough spot. It's still early in the week. It's Tuesday, so they'll play another game on Thursday most likely. So imagine Thursday maybe a let up spot for Tennessee with playing such a big home game on Tuesday night. I hate saying that, but I mean, then come around on Saturday playing Arkansas. This Arkansas team has been an upset machine, really just playing better than anyone has expected them to play in a while. That's a tough game. That's a tough game to handicap. I will take a look at it, probably release my picks on Twitter at Brofict1 on Twitter and at DGen Takes for all of our updates and everything like that. But excuse me, it's going to depend where the line's at. Tennessee wins this game by 10 points. And let's say they win the next game by 5 points, 7 points, depending on Arkansas as well. Let's say Arkansas starts winning some games by double digits and stuff. We're probably going to see a line that's hovering around 6.5, 4.5 points. Close game. I mean, we saw what this line was though when it closed at one point. I mean, the bookmakers thought this game was going to be a lot closer than it is, and here we are with a Tennessee 10-point lead. Still, obviously, they can come back and everything, and it will be a 1 point because bookmakers are incredible at what they do if we don't see a blowout here. But yeah, that Arkansas game is going to be tricky. That Arkansas game is going to be tricky. If it's at 4.5, I'm probably leaning towards Tennessee just because I like the story with Tennessee. I like what they're doing right now. 6.5. No, I'm sorry, 4.5. I'm definitely taking Arkansas because I think if it's a close game, Arkansas has the tools to go ahead and win it and cover that spread. 6.5 points is when I start to get a little bit nervous because I do think if Tennessee especially keeps showing up the way they're showing up right now, we're going to see a very close game there. Very close game there. Shout out Bacon Forever. Thanks for the comment. Comment your other theories down below and everything. We'll talk about anything. I mean, I had a scenario to where I still have a scenario to where Aaron Rodgers ends up as an Arizona Cardinal, which seems to be, a lot closer than people think. So we'll see how that turns out as we look to get back to action here at Tennessee. The Volunteers, still one of the weirdest names in college sports, but hey, I didn't name them, not my problem. Isn't that right, Noah?
Sure.
Yeah, Volunteers, still one of the weirdest names in college sports. You heard it here first. As Tennessee with a 2-point floater can't make it go in. A little tip in by Triple J makes the magic happen. 55-45, 10-point lead with 11:10 left to play in the second half. Noah, Kentucky still needs to keep playing this game 4 minutes at a time. They've been doing pretty well, but not making up any ground at this time.
Yeah, I mean, they're in an okay position. They had it down to 8, which is fine. That's what they wanted, or in my opinion, that's what you want by the 12-minute mark. You just got to get this down to 6 or less by the 8-minute mark.
And you hope you can. You hope you can.
I mean, totally doable.
Yeah. Totally doable. They need to go on another run and get a couple defensive stops.
And Shibwe should be back in the game. Oh, he is back in the game right now. Okay, so they put him in a little. I mean, obviously, Coach Cal knows what he's doing. I'm no basketball coach, but I would have maybe kept him out a little bit longer. But also being down 10, you kind of have to roll the dice here. If Shibwe picks up a 4th foul, though, you have to imagine he's out until about the 4-minute mark, which is going to be rough on Kentucky. They've already had him missing too many minutes in this game because of foul trouble.
As Ziegler hits another 3-point shot, 58-45, Tennessee. Yeah, and Kentucky really needs to get some stops here because they have not been able to get it going on defense, Trying a little alley-oop there, no luck. With the rebound, Kentucky taking in 2-point floater, not good. Tennessee rebound.
I would say Kentucky's looked pretty good on defense, actually, the second half so far. But they
better than they did the first, yeah.
They do need to continue to get shots to fall. That's been an issue. They've not been shooting a very good percentage. Tennessee still shooting 44% from 3. Yeah, they've been killing them from the 3-point line.
They have been. It's been rough, to say the least. But hey, that's Tennessee basketball. While we are in this little thing here, Bacon Forever commented, Noah, that it doesn't matter if Tennessee wins tonight, Arkansas will destroy them. Woo pig suey, go Arkansas. What are your thoughts on that game? I mean, I know it's very early, but
Arkansas is a good team. I think Tennessee is a little bit better, but that'll definitely be a good game when they play.
It'll definitely be a good game.
Would not, put the mortgage on Arkansas to cover and even win in that game. That'd be a little too risque for me. But I like Arkansas. Like I said earlier, big fan of the Muss Bus. Love Eric.
Hey, we're an Arkansas show. We like Arkansas.
So it was fun to see Arkansas knock off Auburn. I think like I said earlier too, I think Arkansas is a team that could make a little bit of a run in March Madness they're not going to get a top 3 seed for sure, and probably not a 4 or a 5 either, I would anticipate. But, they could work themselves into a 4 or 5 seed and make some waves in this tournament.
As they show, Ty still on the bench, looking absolutely devastated as Tennessee makes a shot.
Yeah, head in his hands. Like I said too, this Kentucky team very different. Without Ty, with Sheboy on the bench for too many minutes, this is just a bad recipe for a win for Kentucky in this one.
Yep.
And the turnovers. The turnovers are
and
not.
And they're going to get another foul. Triple J going to the line. Yeah, way too many fouls, way too many this, way too many that. Just a lot going on, and not in a good way for them.
Yeah, just man, these turnovers are just piling up too. It's
piling, bro. It's bad.
It's getting pretty bad for them. Yeah. However, I mean, Tennessee.
9:24 left though. Still a lot left.
Yeah, a lot of time left. Tennessee's a very legit team though, and that's something that people are going to have to pay attention to. I mean, this team is, and they're playing some of their best basketball right now.
Yeah.
Their problem is I don't like Tennessee to make a super deep tournament run though, because they have one game where they're not shooting the ball well, and when they don't shoot the ball well, they lose.
Yeah,
they don't have other ways of creating points when they're not shooting well.
And it looks like they will get called for a travel Tennessee ball. All I know is the next Kentucky practice, they're running a lot.
But I mean, this game shouldn't be too much of a surprise either, though, because Tennessee ranked number 10 in KenPom. I think they're pretty high in the net rankings too.
Mm-hmm.
I just, certainly a good team. This isn't like, and they were favored. They were favored in this game too, so it's not like this is some big underdog win or anything.
Nope. As Tennessee takes it to the rim for another 2-pointers. 63-45 as that score keeps going higher and higher and further away from Kentucky's grasp timeout. Kentucky with 8:30 left to play in the second.
Yeah, and Kentucky, this last 4-minute period, they have done the opposite of what they needed to. They have let this get out of hand. Tennessee going on a pretty big, significant run there. And so you really need a lot to happen if you're going to pull out this game if you're Kentucky.
You do, and this is college basketball, Noah. We got to remember, this is still college ball. Like, it is very possible for them to come back still. Like, I'm not counting that out yet. I am feeling pretty good about my winning margins, though. If Kentucky can make a little bit of a comeback at that 4-7, 4-6, or whatever I took, it'll be good money. But with my luck, they'll end up blowing them out by 20.
We will see what happens. We have over 8 minutes left in this game, so like you said, obviously a lot still can happen. Will it? I don't know, but we'll find out.
We will find out.
Little update on scores. Wisconsin down by 2 points, 7.5 minutes left in that at Indiana. Wyoming down 5 at New Mexico with 6.5 left. And Arkansas maintaining about a 20-point lead. They're up 17 with 4 minutes left in that game. Ooh. Yeah, it's been a good day for college basketball. It's been a good day. Got
a fun day for college ball.
Just taking a peek at the slate tomorrow. Not a whole lot interesting there. Baylor, Texas Tech will be a very good one.
Ooh.
But aside from that, not too much to look forward to tomorrow, unless you're betting on games, and there's certainly plenty to bet on.
Oh, yes, there is.
Then on Thursday, let's see. Interesting. Side note, Houston dropping all the way to 14 in the rankings after two losses last week. They only are a 4-loss team. Houston's looking like they might grab a 4 or a 5 seed. And I will tell you, I will tell you, if Houston gets a 4 or a 5 seed, they are going to be a nightmare for whoever the 1 seed is in that region.
Oh yeah, no, 100%.
That kind of pisses me off with Arizona sitting at a 1 seed. If we have to deal with Houston as a 4 or a 5 in our region, that's not a fun matchup. I mean, whatever 1 seed ends up with that, if that happens, is not a fun matchup at all. You don't want a Sweet 16 matchup against Houston,
no, God no,
who was plenty capable of beating just about any team in the country.
Yeah, they're a good team, and I mean, I didn't like those lines, so I stayed away from them. I'm glad I did over the weekend and everything, but Houston's just a good squad. You watch them; their fundamentals are there. Just everything about Houston screams a Final Four team, except for those 2 losses. I mean,
well, and they're throughout a big chunk of the season, they've been missing their 2 best players. Though, one of them coming back recently, but they're still missing their best player in Marcus Sasser, I believe.
Yes, I believe that sounds right. As we are back to play, 8:20 left, 63-45, Noah.
Yes, I can confirm that now. I was just making sure I wasn't getting Sasser mixed up with the only doubt in my mind was, I was like, is that Arkansas or Houston? It's Houston. I was correct on that.
Fair.
But yeah, Sasser's been out. They've had other players injured. They've had a lot of injuries, Houston has, and they've still been winning. Obviously, they lost twice this past week, dropped them all the way down to 14, biggest drop of the week in the rankings. But Houston's better than number 14, I will tell you that.
Way better than number 14. Tennessee, little 2-pointer, no good from Ziegler, and Kentucky will continue to try to make this comeback. Noah, 3-point shot just from the rim. I mean, nothing is falling for Kentucky tonight. Also, the total score, if you're looking at it right now, is 108. So sitting under 140, you are feeling nice and dandy right about now.
Yeah, well, especially if you took the 153 at halftime. That's
yeah. Oh, if you took that under at 153, you are GHLing.
Which, like I said, I stayed off of it at the beginning. I was a big fan of that under 153 with the halftime number. That's looking nice right now. Kentucky's going to have to really start closing this gap quick.
They got to try to at least. And it starts with trying to make this 2. But no, they cannot buy a basket, another turnover.
Oh, man. But they have Shibwe under the rim, gets 2 offensive rebounds, and then turns it over after that.
Oh, man, just rough. That's just rough. Seven blocks for Tennessee, 0 for Kentucky this game. As
that's what
Wheeler just mauls Fulkus, Jesus Christ, he just took him out.
Yeah, and I know Kentucky didn't come away with points there in that last possession, but that's what Sheboy provides. That's why he's so important. You saw Kentucky got no offensive rebounds when he was on the bench, but he gets 2 on his own in this possession, and he doesn't even need good positioning. He gets these rebounds when he's behind somebody because he's just got this uncanny ability of like timing his jump perfectly, and his hands are like, I want to see him play like tight end in the NFL because his hands are so sticky. Like he holds on to everything, which who knows? I mean, if he wasn't projected to be a lottery pick, a top 10 pick or whatever in the draft, he might have been the next in line of college basketball players to go play tight end in the NFL. We've seen plenty of other players do it.
Oh, honestly.
And who knows if the NBA doesn't work out for him? I'm sure some team would love to have a 6'9" tight end who can jump and catch like Sheboy can.
If it doesn't work out in the NFL, I mean in the NBA, I promise you the Detroit Lions at least, or the Jacksonville Jaguars will give him a call.
Oh my God! Well, could you imagine like some team could just randomly sign him as a free agent if they wanted to, if he like starts in the NBA, because doesn't matter at that point. I do think he would have a decent career as an NFL tight end, but he'll probably have a better career in the NBA.
Oh, 100% probably will have a better career in the NBA, but the guy can dream, right?
Reminds me a lot of like a Draymond Green type of player.
Yeah.
Now Sheboy plays the 5 a lot for Kentucky, but I could totally see him in the NBA at only 6'9", playing the 4. He's got the athleticism, and God, his rebounding ability at only 6'9" is incredible.
Yeah, no, it really is unbelievable, and that's why he's going to be a top 10 pick in the lottery. It's it's just one of those things. Oh man, they need to come back here though. Kentucky needs to figure something out both on defense and offense in order to close this gap. And I'm really not sure that's there, Noah.
They are running short on time to do so. They need a big push quickly, or this game is going to be too far gone.
Yeah, I mean, it's just going to be out of their hands, and there's going to be nothing they can do. Hopefully, though, we won't run into the issue with all college and NBA games where they just start fouling people for no reason in the last 30 seconds.
I mean, I can't imagine they would do that down double digits, but updates while we're at commercial break. I'll come back real quick. Just 2 quick updates. Wisconsin down 2 points with 5:54 left in that game to Indiana. Wyoming down 5 with 3:55 left in the half to New Mexico. That would be a big upset for a team that just cracked the rankings, a team that Arizona played earlier and beat by 30 points. Beat Wyoming by 30 points, and they're ranked 22 right now. So
that's just kind of the state of college basketball right now,
Well, I'm just saying, don't put any disrespect on Arizona, and don't say we didn't play anybody when Wyoming is in the rankings and we beat them by 30.
Oh, 100%. 100%. Also, Noah, kind of random. I don't know why I'm thinking about it now, but NBA All-Star Game is this weekend, right? I think I saw the total at 318, and I kind of like the over.
Yeah, well, I don't. I could not give less of a shit about the NBA All-Star Game.
But bro, it's Team LeBron versus Team KD.
God, there was one player who's a starter who everyone was like, what the fuck? Like, how is that possible? Who am I thinking of?
I have no idea.
I can't remember.
I couldn't remember what the lineup
are, but there was like some like random guy in there who was like should not even be in the All-Star game who's starting.
Love to see it. Love to see it as Kentucky is on an 0-9 run in the last 4 minutes and 57 seconds, but that will end and they'll get a free throw to cap it off. It looks like it'll be 48-65. And they just keep showing the rough injuries that Ty has had. And then talking about this one, yeah, it looks like he re-aggravated it.
Oh, Andrew Wiggins.
Oh, that's right. What the fuck is he doing in the All-Star game, dude? Seriously.
Well, he's not just in the All-Star game; he's a starter on the like. But this dude's he's like the third or fourth best player on his team.
Yeah, but hey, he gets to play in the All-Star game. You know, NFL. I mean, the NBA is a joke. It's fine. Tennessee 65-48, 6:15 left to play in the second half. Kentucky with the turnover, driving it down. Wheeler's got the ball, passes it off. But Tennessee with that defense swarming, not getting anything off, and it looks like they'll cause the turnover and slow it down as we approach the 6-minute mark in this game. Can Tennessee looking comfortable, but obviously can't remain too comfortable.
You all of a sudden got like way behind. I don't know if you were like buffering or what the deal was, AJ, but
how behind am I?
Tennessee just drained a 3 to make it a 20-point game with about 5:20 left in the clock.
I'm catching up. Apparently, I was behind, Noah.
20 points. Kentucky missing there. We got just over 5 minutes left, 20-point game. I think it's about safe to say this one has been decided. Question is where the spread will line up. Obviously, with Tennessee being a 2.5-point favorite or 2-point favorite, you're not worried about the initial. Yeah, you're not worried about the initial game spread, but if you took anything at halftime or anything live, that's where you might still be interested in this one. But
yeah, if you took this game at 10.5, you're definitely still. I mean, it's a 10-point lead. Don't get me wrong, but
and Tennessee,
Kentucky's ball.
Tennessee really just dominating this game with their defense, forcing a shit ton of turnovers and getting points off of those. I mean, they shot the ball well too. Haven't shot super well in the second half, shot really well in the first half, but their defense has just been airtight on Kentucky. Obviously Ty going out with injury. Sheboy's been in a little bit of foul trouble this game. That certainly helped Tennessee's cause, but this Tennessee team, a very legit team. And, like I said, especially at home, they've been really, really, really good at home. So
yes,
we'll see what happens in the tournament where they're on neutral sites, kind of on the road, in hotels, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because they have been a different team on the road than they have at home. So
they haven't. And Noah, I'm so glad that you brought up March Madness because it gives me another chance to plug our big announcement that we made yesterday on Twitter and on all social media. We will be moving from YouTube and Spotify, expanding to Decentraland, a version of the metaverse. You will be able to see us live in studio and interact with the show. And unlike you've ever been able to interact with any other sports show, we will continue on with degenerate takes and degenerate bets, but in a new way. Yes, we are talking NFTs and all that stuff. That will be fun. We will have giveaways and everything like that, like tomorrow. Follow us, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. If you like, comment, and join our Discord, we will select one person from that group to receive the first pair of I'm not going to spoil it yet. Follow us on all of our social tomorrow to see which NFT I am referring to, but it's really dope. It's going to be a one of a kind. We're never going to make anything like it again because it's going to be special for March Madness. And I'm beyond
AJ, we have, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have given the whole metaverse Decentraland thing, we have wearable NFTs that are coming out.
Oh yeah, no.
In March?
We have wearable NFTs. So not just something that you kind of have in your wallet and stuff. I'm talking about something your avatar in the metaverse can wear to show that you not only represent the degenerate, but that you are on the forefront of all things sports and sports media and crypto and metaverse. It's honestly going to be a true badge of honor, especially when we get things rocking and rolling, bro. Especially with what we're releasing tomorrow, which will be the first of our wearables.
And some of our wearables, if I'm not mistaken, will be one of a kind.
Yes, some of them. We will
have one of a kind ones that there is one and one only. And if your avatar is wearing them, no other avatar is wearing them. You're
no one else owns
you're the
them.
Only one with that.
You're the only one with it. And we mean that, and we mean it by heart. We will stick to the one of ones and all of that. More to come. Please follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok @DGenTakes, so that you can see what we're going to be up to, so you can be on the forefront with us. We are doing something that's never been done before, and we are beyond excited. Please join us for the journey as Tennessee keeps going on this journey of turning the ball over to Kentucky, so Kentucky can dribble down the court, and actually drain a three. There we go. It looks like Kentucky will take a timeout.
I might chase this one live. I've been kind of thinking about it. I have like a little bit throughout. I'm still not. I'm still not down on Kentucky plus 10.5. I mean, winning probably out of the question at this. Well, I'm not going to fully eliminate it, but very slim odds of that. But Kentucky could cut this to single digits. I mean, it's 14
They really could. Yeah, they absolutely could.
Almost 4 whole minutes left. That'll be interesting. And AJ, won't spend too much time on it, but briefly, we got 5 minutes till puck drop in the USA-Slovakia game.
Thank you for reminding me. I got to put a bet in on that.
Which, we will not be live for that, AJ. But
no, we will not.
If you want to stay on and stay on call personally while we're watching that, I wouldn't be opposed to that.
I'll see what I can do. I got some other stuff I got to take care of tonight.
No problem.
Because let me tell you, bro. Wait, first of all, while we're in commercial, let's talk USA hockey really quick, because we are degenerates and we're going to bet on it. 1.5 at -110 seems like the steal of the fucking century. Am I just on a different level right now, or am I reading that line right? Like,
no, you're reading it right. And it's funny because NHL, you never see any. The puck line is always 1.5 in NHL.
Yes.
It's never anything different.
International hockey, though.
The Olympics are interesting. Have not seen a 3.5 yet, but
not yet. But we do have Russian Olympic Committee at -2.5 tonight.
I was going to say
I have seen 115.
I have seen a couple 2.5 lines. The United States, in their very first game of this Olympics against China, we were 2.5 at +105. So there was plus odds at 2.5 on that one. US won 8-0 in that game. And I'm kind of all for. I don't know about the Russians against the Danes in this one, though, just because that first game was literally 1-0 that the two of them played before. So,
true.
I mean, I would love the Russians to just like sweep that, because I have a significant wager on them to win the gold medal. But I think 2.5 might be a little bit too much for that Russian Danish.
I can see it. I didn't touch it. I just took US -1.5 because I'm off. I might as well sweat a late night hockey game. I don't have anything else to do. Got to make a couple calls. Got to do a couple deals. But
yeah.
Besides that.
Also, I'd be damned if we didn't mention the women's hockey.
Yes.
Playing
You would be damned.
Tomorrow, maybe tonight, some weird, I don't know, the time difference throws me off, but playing in the gold medal game against Canada, a little rematch where I believe the United States had like 58 shots on goal in that first one and still lost 4-2.
Yeah.
I'm hoping to see a little revenge game here. We'll win.
We will
take home the gold for our women of the U.S.
That would be nice. That'd be nice to cap off what's been a great Olympic run for our women with a nice gold. Obviously, they're in the gold medal game. They've done excellent, but Canada always is a problem because it's Canada and hockey. And I mean, that's like putting an Eskimo in an igloo. As Tennessee drains both of their free throws, 70-54. You got a 16-point game here, 3:48 left on the clock with a big slam dunk from Kentucky. Not going to do a lot, but hopefully just give them some momentum so that my bet of win margin 7-10 hits, because that was the highest odds.
So you did take the 7-10, AJ.
I did take the 7. I took the 4-6, 7-10, and 11-13.
Okay, so I'm sure that plays out as a win. If any of those hit, you're probably
any of those hit
enough that.
Yeah, I played it out. The odds were where they were at, to where I place any wager and I'm making money.
So you need this game to fall between 4 and 13 points, if not
yes,
mistaken.
sir. Yeah, 4 and 13. We're looking between 4 and 13 right now, and right now sitting at 14 points. I'm feeling okay, but not feeling great.
I don't hate your chances right now. I mean, 3.5 minutes left. Like I said, I do expect Kentucky to make a little bit of a push, get this game a little bit closer here in the end. And you never know. There's always garbage time. I mean, you don't
always
have
garbage time.
You don't have as many like garbage time situations in basketball as you do in football, just because you can make up a lot. Well, you can make up a lot more points a lot quicker in basketball. Sheway just tipping it to himself and getting another beautiful rebound there.
Ooh.
He's got 15 on the game despite being on the bench for a decent chunk of time.
As you seem to be ahead of me again.
Yes,
how much time's left on the clock for you?
3:09.
Oh, I got 3:11. Son of a bitch.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see what Kentucky can do here at the end as far as covering any sort of live lines or anything like that. But
or any winning margins, 4-13 is 4-14 essentially. Dude, honestly, winning margins have been so much fun to bet in college, like in sports. Like I've been doing them a lot more lately. And it's like I only do it when I hate where the spread's at and I just need a little bit more of a gap, and it's usually plus money. And that's usually like when I'm betting on a favorite, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's also where you can just take an alt spread though.
Yeah, but I hate alt spreads. As Tennessee gets another rebound.
I don't know why you hate that, because if you watch the show regularly, you know that I preach this, and it is buy points if you're concerned. Just buy it. Like I do it all the time in football. Football, I buy, between a half and 1.5, 2 points. Basketball, I'll sometimes buy like 4 or 5 points on a spread because the spread makes me nervous. And so if the spread makes me nervous, I will buy it down to a lower spread or a higher spread if it's a team to cover. So
I will tell you the reason. I have to tell you the reason I hate alternate spreads off air. I can't tell it on air, but I'll tell you after this game ends, Noah. I think you'll appreciate the story.
Okay.
As Kentucky, at minute 54 left, Kentucky down significantly, 56-72. Can't buy a basket even in garbage time. It looks like, they make it 2 half, and it looks like they're going to the free throw line as well.
With an and one opportunity, yes. Hey, this free throw would cut it to 13. Your boy Triple J, as you're calling him, fouls out. Not that it matters.
Not that it matters at this point. But hey, Triple J had an incredible game. I am going to, you heard it here first. No one else has called him this before me. And here I am being a genius of our generation. And, some asshole Stephen A is going to, I'm sorry not to name names or anything, but it's going to take that name when he becomes a big star in the NBA.
Man, he's a very polarizing guy. I love Stephen A. personally. I know a lot of people don't like him, but I'm I'm a big Stephen A fan. I like him a lot.
I will say it's kind of effed up. I can't stand Stephen A and First Take, but I love Undisputed with Shannon and Skip.
Yeah, and I hate Skip.
I know you do.
Personally, I can't stand Colin Coward either.
I love the Herd. I love that.
No, yeah, I know. So we have different opinions on who we like to listen to. Obviously, we give a lot of our own news.
Oh, all of it's our own. I mean, we just listen to it because we love sports, and when there's no sports on, you got to listen to other people talk about sports. My girlfriend,
Dick Vitale, another guy who some people love, some people hate. I'm just saying because they just flashed him up. Obviously, going into surgery for his vocal cords today, so that he can hopefully return to the court. He noted that he was concerned about going under anesthesia, just given his age and everything. Looks like the surgery went pretty well.
Yes.
I'm not, from what they're saying. Whether you love or hate him, Dick Vitale, he's an icon in college basketball. He's an absolute icon, and I hope he's not been traditionally like one of my favorites to listen to, but I also don't dislike him, whatever. But I really hope he ends up back on the sideline calling college basketball.
The degenerate takes hope for nothing more than a speedy recovery. And to see him on the court, hopefully for March Madness, hopefully it's that speedy of recovery. That would
I don't think it won't be this season, but next season. And,
no, next season definitely.
Like I said, whether you love him or hate him, he's iconic. He's iconic to college basketball.
He really is. No, he is. He's one of those guys.
Dickie V is iconic to college basketball, and he needs to be present.
He really is. Is Tennessee going back to the line again? Jesus Christ.
They are. And they first shot banks off the back of the rim, and that's out. So still sitting pretty at 13, AJ.
Love to see it. Again, we can risk 1 point. So I'm okay with that. You know what I mean? Let's keep it 13-14. No issues there.
Second one almost misses, bounces in off the front of the rim. Kentucky's still got a minute 35 to close this up a little bit.
To figure it out a little bit. Hopefully just keep it close at this point as they're hustling down the court, working it, trying to get inside, not happening, kick it out. 3-pointer, no good. Tennessee ball.
Yeah. And they're not probably going to foul at this point.
No, they shouldn't. That'd just be dumb.
And Calipari's got enough respect for the game to not do that.
Well, nope. Tennessee's going to the line as they're up by 14 with a minute 12 left.
It's like Wyoming.
This is what sports betting has done to me. I want them to win specifically by 7 to 10 points because that was the best payout. That pisses me off. And now I'm sitting here, they're just destroying the spread.
Wyoming losing by 9 points at New Mexico. Not a very good New Mexico team. That's a pretty
not a good look.
Bad
not
loss.
A good look.
Wyoming, as quick, as long as it took them to crack the top 25, they will be very quickly out of the top 25.
Yeah. Kentucky Tennessee on offense. Sorry.
Tennessee just holding. They're just holding up tough on defense, and this is what we expected. I mean, Tennessee's defense very strong. This is a Kentucky team that's averaging 81, 82 points a game, and Tennessee's gonna potentially hold them under 60,
which is unbelievable.
I take that back immediately after that Sheboy dunk.
Watch your mouth, Noah.
but they will most likely hold Kentucky under 65 for a team that's averaging close to 82 points a game.
Yep, and Tennessee up by 14 right now. I love where this is sitting. Can time run out right now? No, it can't. Will Kentucky draw the foul?
And Ty Ty just looks miserable on the bench there.
God, that poor guy.
He hasn't gone, but here's the thing: he hasn't gone into the locker room, so it can't be like serious.
It can't be season ending, but it's definitely something they don't want to risk, especially making a tournament push.
Yeah, he's clearly in too much pain to be playing, but the fact that he's still sitting on the bench and he hasn't once gone into the locker room with the athletic trainers would lead me to believe that it's more of a pain thing than anything else.
And with the knee, let me tell you, when you're trying to walk around with pain like that, as now they go up 15 fucking points. God bless it. Kentucky making a push. Come on, just give me a 2-pointer and let the clock run out. 2-pointer and let the clock run out. Come on. I know we're going to get a call at least. Go into the line, please. Oh, fucking don't choke. Please don't choke, dude.
And another quick update. Wisconsin grabs a 5-point win over Indiana.
Wow.
In a game that was very back and forth the entire time.
Wow. Good for them. As Kentucky does drain it, we'll get another one coming.
Yeah. All right. And it looks like we're just dribbling the ball out here, AJ. It looks like it's going to be a 76-63 final. Which works for you. That's plus money.
That's 13, baby. That's plus money.
To touch on Wisconsin, not a team I see, a team that will get a pretty decent seed in the tournament. They are sitting at 15 in the AP rankings right now. I don't see Wisconsin making a deep run at all. I mean, no.
They're a first round and done.
This Wisconsin team is they have done very good through the Big Ten gauntlet this season. They probably will end up at either a 4 or a 5 seed. They're
as
one
we
that
get
I think
final score 76-63 Tennessee. Sorry, go ahead, Noah.
Right. Wisconsin's a team that I think I think they'll get eliminated in that second round when they run into that 4-5 matchup. You know, and unless the team that they're matched up with gets upset in the first round and then they're playing a 12 or a 13 seed, then they might have a better chance. Mm-hmm. But even then, you know, if they do make a Sweet 16, I think they get knocked off by the 1 seed in whatever bracket they're in. I think that's the ceiling for this Wisconsin team is like Sweet 16.
100%. And Noah, now that the game is over, obviously Tennessee winning in good fashion. I do think it is time, since we have no viewers, that we do sign off. So D-Gens, we do want to thank you for joining us again. Please follow us on all of the social medias, D-Gen Takes, to see what we're doing, what we're up to in Decentraland, our wearables. We will be dropping our first one tomorrow, so you can see what it is, and we will be giving one away to a commenter and or a follower. We will post details on that tomorrow. More. We will see you next time on Degenerate Takes. Good shit, bro. We had